Hey, what's up guys? Brandon here again. All right, so I'm creating this video. We're gonna throw this video into every single recruiting job post. Anytime that we find anyone that we are interested in recruiting or any kind of role that we need to attract someone to. Because what I'm gonna talk about here is the type of person in general that NOVAEO is ultimately going to demand that we have, that you are. And therefore, what NOVAEO is going to do to help you incentivize you to be that individual and to grow as a person once you are in NOVAEO. So first things first is the word that I pretty much use almost every day with the team is autonomy. Autonomy means being a self-sustainable, self-accountable individual team member. And when I say accountability, it means accountable to the team, to the mission, to your role, but also to yourself. You owe it to yourself to be continually progressing as a human, not just professionally, but of course professionally as well. You should be focusing on your health. You should be focusing on your relationships. You should be focusing on your growth in your profession or changing professions, changing skill sets. Growth, just growth. And you owe it to yourself in order to always maintain focus on those things. And NOVAEO is going to support that. So when it comes to accountability, specifically in the NOVAEO professional systems, it means not just being an extra set of hands. It means finding problems, solving problems. It means asking for help when help is needed. But it also means providing help when you see help needed elsewhere. So it's not a matter of just being a solo artist and only working by yourself. That's not what I talk about. That's not what I mean when I talk about autonomy. It really just means someone that is truly accountable to their growth and to the team. Because ultimately that's what we are. We are building a true online community in which we give a shit about each other, and therefore the profit that we create can get invested back into the individual, and then it's up to that individual to invest in themselves to be growing as an individual, as a human being on those sorts of different wellness angles, whether it's your physical wellness, emotional wellness, spiritual wellness, mental wellness, professional development, relationship development, whether that's family or love, romance, all these kinds of things. All of this is extremely important. So inside the NOVAEO community, we're trying to build extremely well-rounded people, which means that you have to come to the table ready to be that person. There's already some aspect of you that is that person, that you have that foundation. Maybe you haven't been given the time. Maybe you're working 70 hours a week and you're just not really able to balance yourself in that way, but you have to want to be that person. You have to bring something to the table that shows us that you can be that person, that you're not just going to sit back and wait. You're not going to sit back and wait for tasking. You're not going to run into a little issue and then be like, oh well, I can't do anything, what do I do? That's not what we need, because NOVAEO is going to be investing so much into the individual that there's no room for anyone to not be a rock star. Everyone has to pull their own weight and more, because we need to build enough resources. So this is business. So in terms of profit, we need to build enough resources so that we can invest in our growth and in our growth as a business. We want to invest in our growth as an ecosystem, which is starting new businesses that this team is going to operate. Businesses in totally different realms of industry than what we're currently in. Even the same community is going to be operating, whether it be, currently our main income stream is in e-commerce. So we own various product brands, as you probably heard in another video, but we're getting into real estate. We have inventions that are launching. We're going to be starting a US government sourcing contract business soon. I mean, literally any industry that sounds interesting to us, we're going to jump in. Because at the end of the day, one of the most important things for you guys to understand about me personally, the leader and the visionary of NOVAEO, is that I am not someone that really needs to live in some kind of high level of abundance. I don't need to have shit tons of money to avoid luxurious things. I'm a nomad. I live off of a carry-on bag. As long as I can afford airfare and Airbnbs, I'm stoked. So what I really am is an artist. I am a creator. And in order to create, we need money, but that those creations end up creating value that can therefore get invested back into us as individuals and as a collective. So everybody has to pull their weight and more. And in exchange for that, we're going to be investing back into you as an individual and investing back into the team. So one of the first things I want to, So one of the most important things is also the concept of wanting to dedicate yourself to this community and to yourself. So some people come to the table feeling more like this is just an opportunity to have a stable income while they build something outside of our ecosystem. And there are some situations in which that is okay. In fact, in some of those situations, as long as you're very honest about this stuff, we can work with you to help you build whatever it is that you're passionate about, that you want to build, and then maybe figure out a way to include your business into the ecosystem, whether it's if you're a graphic designer wanting to build your own design team, your own studio, or a social media marketer, or really whatever the case may be. You got to be honest. Everything here is about transparency and honesty. You get that from me. You get that from everyone else. You got to give it back. That's extremely important. I know that's really rare in the professional world in general. It's like, the culture of most businesses nowadays is we have to wear this mask. We have to basically only show a small aspect of who we are as individuals, and everything else has to remain secret. And that sucks. That's not how it is in NOVAEO. Come as you are, no mask, but just be transparent with your intentions, your desires, your levels of happiness, all this stuff. If things are not going your way in NOVAEO, you have to communicate that, because it's our job as a community to help you achieve the happiness that you deserve. So what we demand is a certain level of attention in NOVAEO and in yourself. You have to keep that focus. You have to work hard, but we are not going to build this by working like slaves. We are not working super long hours. We do not want to have to do that. We do not want to lose sleep. We want to allot amounts of time so that we can all live balanced lifestyles. And so as long as you come into this team thinking, if this team serves me well, I'm in this for the long haul, then that will get you rewarded substantially. So, for example, some of the things that we're building into our systems right now is a team profit share, at which a certain percentage of net income made every month is going to go into a profit share pool that gets distributed to the community members. So what this means, and this is going to be incentive for the longevity angle, in order to join the NOVAEO community, you first start off your first 90 days as basically a new recruit. Some businesses might call this like a probationary period. Whatever, we call you a new recruit. At the end of your 90 days, we're basically assessing your attitude, your energy, your willingness, your drive, your skill set, all these things. And we have a certain group of people that are ultimately, we call them the Harmony Pod. This pod keeps the whole system, the whole team operating harmoniously. So the Harmony Pod basically assesses you, and almost every single person moves into the team. You kind of have to really suck to not move into the team, to be honest. So once you become a team member, then you're already going to get allotted a certain amount of, let's call them benefits. So now you get a certain amount of benefits, and I'll talk about those later. And for 18 months, you are building yourself up in the team. At the end of 18 months, you are now eligible, if you did well, to get put forth to the community. And basically the community is going to, the community members of NOVAEO are going to vote if you should be accepted into the community or not, based again on your personality, your energy, your willingness to help people, your participation in things outside of just your role, and then obviously your value output, your input and your output. I mean, obviously that shit's super important, because once you join the community, now we're really investing in you, which means you must have done something to create that value that makes us want to invest back into you. And so a certain percentage of vote by the community members brings you into the community, and now you're going to be eligible for a significant amount of more perks and more benefits. After another 18 months of being in the community, which by the way, if you don't get accepted into the community, then there's basically like a delay. You kind of go back into a probationary period, and that'll be determined uniquely based on you as the individual and by the Harmony Pod. And you can get resubmitted to apply to the community again. I guess could potentially be terminated, but it really wouldn't work like that. It'd be, if you suck, then you're going to get terminated just, way before that. So that can get kicked down the road. If you're not doing super well, you basically get, like a development plan and these kinds of things. But anyway, once you're in the community, then after another 18 months of being in the community, you're eligible to join what we're right now calling veteran status in the community. We want to come up with some sweeter lingo because that sounds really cheesy, veteran. But that's going to open up the door to even more insane perks. So the number one, most interesting perk to you guys right now is going to be this profit share. The profit share starts at when you initially join the community, and then it basically doubles once you become a veteran in the community member. The profit share obviously totally depends on how the company is doing, how much profit we're earning, and how many people are in the community. So basically every time we add people to the community, that brings the profit share down a little bit per person because it gets distributed. However, if you're joining the community, that means the community agreed that you create significant amounts of value. Therefore, we want you in the community because you're going to help grow that profit share thereafter, or grow the profit so that that profit share pool grows after. That's why there's a voting process. I am not the ultimate decider of who joins the community. The community people are the ultimate decider. We're in this together. So if you deserve to be in the community, you start getting the profit share. So again, the profit share really depends on, a lot of variables. How many people do we have that maybe like a bunch of people just joined the community? Because right now, for example, we're in a massive recruiting phase. We're growing so fast that we're recruiting tons of people. When all these people join the community, profit share pool is going to drop a little bit, but we're going to keep on growing, and eventually, it's going to be back up there and then some. Then obviously, the profit of the business at the time also affects the profit share pool. But at the first level of joining the community, let me skip ahead. At the veteran level of joining the community, the profit share calculations should be around, if it's calculating around 3 years from now, should be around between 50 and probably 125, 150% of your salary. So literally, most likely going to double or even more than double your salary. So initially, when we're recruiting you, we're trying to offer salaries that are a little bit more than competitive. So not necessarily as much as you might be able to make as charging per hour as a freelancer or something like that, because we're not trying to attract the people that are just trying to maximize their here and now. We're trying to attract the people that see the big picture vision, want to invest themselves, want to invest in themselves, want to invest into the community, and once they prove that through this allotted amount of time, then they really reap the rewards. So our initial salary offers are typically slightly above competitive. So still good. It should be good. So slightly above competitive. And then once you hit that, it'd be the 3 year plus the 90 days, so long as you got voted in, right on your days that you're eligible to get voted in. Now you're looking at anywhere from a 50 to, it could be 100, it could probably go up to 150, but probably 50 to 125% of that salary. So basically doubling that salary. So that right there is pretty fucking awesome. Now what we haven't built in yet is what happens when we sell a business, because our ecosystem of businesses are shit tons of different businesses. We have 10 different brands, I think 10, I don't know. We're working on 3 more right now. It gets confusing to me. We have a bunch of different health and wellness brands. Let's leave it at that. We're gonna get to a point where we're gonna wanna sell those brands. Some of them might sell for 3 million, some of them might sell for 30 or 40 million. We don't have this mapped out yet, but anytime we sell a big asset like that or a piece of our ecosystem, that's also going to get distributed. So that'd be on top of the, doubling or whatever salary. So that right there should sound fucking awesome to you. And if it doesn't, then I don't know what's wrong with you. So on top of that comes all these other, what we're calling what do we call them? Lifestyle perks right now. We got to come up with cooler lingo. We're still working on lingo. So lifestyle perks. Where we want to get to is we're in the process now of hiring what we're calling a wellness mentor. Someone their whole focus is on helping the individual wellness of every single individual in the team. So they're going to sit down with every single individual, map out, what is the one thing in your life that you could change that will have a drastic impact on your wellness. And then we're going to attach a monthly bonus to achieving certain goals that this wellness mentor works with you on in order to achieve that. So if you're a cigarette smoker, that's kind of like a no-brainer. Quit smoking cigarettes because that shit is gonna kill you and like really reduce your quality of life substantially. So a wellness mentor will help you build a plan to reduce your cigarette smoking. If it's, we want to get a little bit more specific than like losing weight, but you know, for this video, let's just say it's losing weight. Say you need to lose like 30 pounds or something to get into like a good health range. Well, these goals are meant to be super duper attainable, but cumulative, meaning it might be like 2 pounds a month for the next 15 months. And in order to get your wellness goal, you know, your wellness bonus, you got to be cumulative. You got to lose your 2 pounds this month. And not only do you have to keep off those 2 pounds, but lose two more pounds the next month. And like cumulative, all of the wellness goals are going to be built like that. So, and as we scale as a team, as we grow as a team, we're going to get more specific with wellness goals. What I eventually want to get to is that we have something where we're focusing on physical wellness, mental wellness, emotional wellness. So we're going to be recruiting like team therapists of different sorts because different people have different types of people. So we could have like a Western psychologist, you know, someone that studies psychology, or we can have like spiritual therapists as well. So that's all stuff that we're going to scale too. We don't have that right now. But even like sleep therapists, I mean, sleep is so insanely important. So like having a sleep mentor, a nutrition mentor, this is all the stuff that we're going to build as we gain more and more profit and then scale. And then we're going to be building lifestyle bonuses, meaning these mentors are going to, again, every single individual is going to have something unique to them. What does that individual need to have better sleep or better nutrition or, you know, better emotional stability or, you know, whatever the case may be. And we're going to have bonuses attached to that so that at the end of the day, what we're really trying to create is we're going to maybe be having like 25, 30-hour work weeks tops, but an expectation that you're investing maybe like another 35 hours a week, so like 70 hours a week, but that's going to cover all these other things that you are going to be progressing towards. You know, improved sleep, improved fitness, you know, improved professional progression, you know, all these different things, whether it's like going through like a podcast series or a book or some kind of course or whatever. All these things. I mean, like actually right now, because I'm starting to do so many videos and we're actually gonna start working on building my personal brand in order for me to radiate our NOVAEO message, our vision, and our badass culture out there more, I'm gonna be speaking a lot. So I'm right now in the middle of doing a vocal cord training course so that I can learn how to speak from down here and have more endurance than speaking from up here where I currently am. Because even by the end of this video, I'm gonna be kind of scratchy and I'm probably like 2 more videos to do after this. And so yeah, vocal cord endurance is super important. Now, anyway, so I kind of lost myself there. Let me pause and come back. Okay, cool. So other perks that we're working right now, actually a project that's on my plate right now, is we've already collected a massive list of ideas from the entire team. So right now we have, I don't know, probably have like around 50 to 60 people in our team. So we collected like a massive list of ideas of like what would be cool things for NOVAEO to invest back into the individuals. So it ranges from small things like fitness stipends. So like, you know, $25, $50, $75 a month stipends that can go towards a gym membership, yoga studio, rock climbing, martial arts, you know, some kind of like physical activity. To like remote work, like remote office stipends, whether it's like a work center or if you work at cafes every day, it can be like used for that or whatever. So like small little things like that. So like way more, what I think is like way sweeter, healthy meal delivery. So we eventually want to get to a point where every community member is signed up with a service to get healthy meals delivered to them and potentially even family like every week. And if you don't live in an area where these services exist, then what we'll do instead is we'll find someone in your area, someone local to you, that can basically be a personal chef that will go out and do some grocery shopping and then batch cook meals once or twice a week, and then, you know, give you a bunch of meals for you to put in your refrigerator or freezer or whatever, and that will suffice for that. So those lifestyle perks are also built into this list of perks that we have. And so what my task is that's on my plate right now is I need to basically look at what the costs of all these different ideas are, and then I'm building a schedule based on our profitability as a business and our revenue as a business. So therefore it's like once we grow by 2.5%, now we get this perk. Once we grow by, like another 2.5%, we get this perk. Once we grow by blah, 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 this perk. And so we're gonna have a stack of perks like super fucking long. That is, as we achieve stuff, we get all these perks as a team. And that's gonna be really cool. So depending on when you're watching this video, I may or may not have that done yet. If it is done, then I'll ask our team to have some variation of that posted to you. Probably won't have all the details, but yeah, what else should I cover? Let's see, I'm gonna pause, think a little bit, and let's see. Yeah, okay, I think I actually covered the bulk of it. I guess the number one thing that you have to understand is that this is a team, this is a community that cares about every single individual inside of it, which means you have to care about yourself and you have to care about the community. Prove that and we will invest back to you, but it's on you to first invest and prove yourself that you care about yourself, you care about your development, you care about your wellness, and you care about contributing and investing into the community. Do that, and I'm telling you, this will be a dream job for you, a dream team. You will never want to leave this. It's going to be incredible. With this culture that we're creating, we're even creating like a social media built around our team brand because we believe that the whole world needs to operate this way. Now, obviously, as you can tell, we're still evolving it. We're basically guinea pigs for trying to figure out what the most idealistic like business organizational structure and culture that could possibly ever exist and work could ever be. And then we're going to radiate that to the world. So just like how Google, for example, how they changed the tech world drastically by, basically like, they had high paying salaries, but then they did stuff like having like slides in their offices, and they had chefs in their offices and sleeping pods, they had massage therapists, all that shit. Well, what eventually happened was all the top talent went to them. So all the other tech businesses, IBM, all that shit, all these like dinosaur tech businesses, not just the new ones, even like IBM, even the dinosaurs that have been around forever, now they have to do that because the talent demands it. They will not be able to attract talent without it. So what our goal is to come up with the sweetest, most badass culture and organizational structure, prove that it works through our profit, but we're already, we're pretty much already able to do that now, but we'll continue to show our growth as a business to prove that it works as a business, from the monetary angle, but then also prove about how much individual development and how much collective development happens. We'll radiate that through our social media. And ultimately through this, we're gonna change the world because other people are gonna see it. Other people are gonna start making demands of their organizations, their employers, and younger entrepreneurs. I don't mean young in age, I mean younger in like development of system and stuff like that, or earlier in their like idea creation. They're gonna be following on me like, man, that's the coolest thing I've ever heard of. I wanna do that too. We're gonna offer free consulting to those other businesses so that they can develop themselves to be similar. And like that, that's how we're gonna change the world. I just got goosebumps. All right, well, thank you for watching this. If you have any questions, give us a holler. But hopefully you feel as good about this as I do.